Know me as an AI, but I can guarantee you I'm a human being. That's why I started by speaking Swahili. So msiniogope jamani, mimi sio robot. Wangapi mnafahamu Kitonga AI? Aha, wachache. Aha, sawa, mheshimiwa pale anafahamu. So ni mkurugenzi wa Tech Forward Tanzania, na tutakuwa na muda mzuri sana wa kushare juu ya practical skills za namna tunavyoweza kutumia Kitonga AI. So without wasting time, I asked the Kitonga area because I'm about to introduce someone here, and I actually asked the AI to teach me some Estonian, and I'm sure I'm going to make it. So I have learned these two words. The first word is tere. Tere. Nitawafundisha ki-Estonia. Tere maana yake ni habari au ujambo. Sawa. Turudie wote, sema tere. Tere. So and the second one was, tunaunganisha sasa mawili. Ukitaka kumkaribisha mgeni wa kizungu kutoka Estonia, unasema tere turemasti. Tere turemasti, manake you are welcome, au karibu. Sawa jamani? So hayo ni maneno mawili nimejifunza leo ya ki Estonia. Wangapi tunafahamu lugha ya Estonia? Wachache? Okay, so without wasting time, I would love to introduce to you the CEO of, my pronunciation is a bit shit, but I hope you are going to understand. So she will introduce properly on herself, but join me to introduce, I'm still claiming now the name so that I won't mess up, because it's not a good thing to mess up with ladies' name. Trust me, it's not a good thing. Okay, so I want to introduce to you the CEO and member of the board of Estonian software company named as Aktors, Miss Kedi Valba. Please join me. You can make some noise, you can clap more, you can even stand. It's good. It's a sign of an energy. Mnaweza kusimama huku tunamkaribisha dada hapa, na naamini kuna kitu kikubwa sana tutakwenda kujifunza kutoka kwa dada yetu. Dada means sister. So that's your first Swahili word you should learn today. Dada. Dada. So she's going to present, but also we are going to have a small chit chat. As a woman, as a leader in ICT, she's going to share a bit of her experience for the last 15 years that she has been working with government. The good news, guys, I can tell you, I saw the Brigadier General of our military. Is he still around? So these guys, they are even able to develop solution for the military. He's there. Salute, sir. So he's there. So after this conversation, I'm going straight to Rugaro, guys. Naenda Rugaro nikitoka hapa kuwapelekea Kitonga AI wale wanajeshi wetu, ili tuweze kuboresha pia mifumo ya serikali. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss. The slides? Okay. So naomba msaada kule nyuma wa slide. I think. You want to change the slide? They are okay. Okay, so you can use them. So after the slide, you have like 5 minutes talk, like you share your experience as a woman in leadership. I don't know if it's
I will do it, yes.
Yeah, so
if you want, I can see.
Yeah.
Sorry for that. Hello. Hello from my side as well. I have never had such a long introduction in a conference. But it's lovely to be here. Jumbo from my side, Stere in Estonian, and I'm just sharing you a bit of my experience today. I will try to be quite brief, and actually I wanted to go back to the very beginning of today, to the speech of the gentleman from Uganda who said that you don't have to be the president, you don't have to be the prime minister, but I would like to encourage all of the ladies in the room that you indeed can become one. So let's start with that thought. Just very briefly about the company I'm representing. Aktors is an Estonian software company, and Estonia is a tiny country somewhere in north of Europe. We are actually quite cold. It's already turning into winter where we live, and we do have 1.3 million people. But Estonia is a digital state. Until today, we had 2 services that were not digitized yet, that were getting married and getting divorced. But this will be changed also in the future, so we can do all of the transactions and services with state digitally. About the company, Aktors is one of the companies behind the initial development of the Estonian national data exchange platform X-Road, which is the core backbone of e-Estonia, taking care of the interoperability between different information systems. So we operate in e-governance, finance. For example, we have digitized the state budget of Estonia, justice, we have created the court information system, and also the defense sector. I will get to the defense sector very soon, but today I will mostly share my story, my personal story of how I ended up in ICT sector and how I ended up as a CEO of Aktors. So actually my background is in business administration. I did my bachelor in business administration and languages, and Estonia had just joined European Union in 2004. We had the euro in 2011, and it seemed fascinating for me. So after the very practical business school, I didn't know what I want to do. I didn't have any career outlooks in that sense that I was working in marketing and sales field. And I was thinking that I would like to work in European Commission. So I went to do my master's in European Studies, which was all about the laws, politics, international relations of European Union. Then I ended up visiting European Commission, and I understood the load of bureaucracy that's there. And I was thinking that, what the hell was I thinking? I actually don't like this at all. I like to be a practical person, and I didn't understand why I studied this thing. I was actually quite unhappy. And also at the same time, I quit my job in the marketing sector because I had totally burned out. I had overworked. I had 18-hour workdays, organizing conferences and trainings, and I took some time off. So as the stress was very high, I got sick. I took 1.5 months in Spain and just enjoyed a vacation. When I came back to Estonia, then actually I didn't have a job. I already had the pressure that I was running out of money because I was living abroad for some time. And then I had a friend who was offered a job in an IT company as a secretary. And she didn't want to go because she was quite well positioned in her work, and she was offering it to me that, hey, you need a job, why don't you go instead of me? So that wasn't my ambition at all, to go and work as a secretary in some company when I was working as a project manager in marketing for a couple of years already. But I was thinking that the salary was a bit better than in my previous job. I didn't have to do much, and I was thinking that, why not? I will go there, I will be able to have a lot of free time, and I can look for job advertisements while I'm sitting in the front desk. So in 2013, I ended up as a secretary in the IT company Aktors. And actually, I didn't know anything about IT. In Estonian Business School, I had an IT course for 1 year where we studied to do a web page in HTML. And in this IT company where I started, one of my first jobs was actually to create a software user manual in HTML. So I could actually put my knowledge into practice, which I never knew I actually need in the future. Also, very soon, I joined the defense project. As when they were hiring me, they also realized that I'm overqualified for the job, so they were looking for opportunities for me to develop very fast. And in 3 months, I was looking for a new secretary, and I was helping to manage the biggest defense sector project in Estonia that has been in Estonia in history. We were developing a software component for NATO Global Hawk drones that are currently flying and also collecting intelligence information during the Ukraine war. So finally, in 2014, as Estonia had developed a new master's program about e-governance technologies and services in Tallinn University of Technologies, then I decided to go and do another master's degree about IT. This is where I finally ended up getting the whole picture and overview of how things work in IT sector. And in 2020, I also became the member of the supervisory board of the same position. During the 10 plus years that I have worked at Aktors, I have been doing different things. I have been doing project management, testing, analysis. Also, I have taken the responsibility for HR and communications. I did some job as a lawyer, although I'm not a lawyer myself. And in 2018, I became the regional manager for Africa and Middle East. So fast forward to this spring in 2023, the actual founder and former CEO of the company handed me over his position. So, and also when I was talking about the EU, that I didn't understand why I studied this thing, and actually I lost passion to that. Then this year in September, I was selected in the business advisory group for the Global Gateway digital subgroup member that's consisting of CEOs only. And believe it or not, most of them are men. And it's an advisory group for the European Commission on the top management level. So we're advising Ursula von der Leyen, the president of European Commission, in means of digital developments. Also about the funding opportunities in Africa, Caribbean, and other neighboring areas. So this is something that's related to my experience, and I also have some lessons learned during my journey in the digital sector that I have been in for those past years, and that doesn't only go to the digital or IT only, but in general for all of the business management, I would say. That as a lady, you need to invest in education. Even if you don't understand why you study this at the moment, then at least do it. Whatever you study, it's useful in the future. Also, be a kind person and lead by an example. Because as ladies, one of the best things that's appreciated from us is that we're empathic, and also that we're mostly doing business in an honest way. Also learn from other people's experience. It's either read the books or talk to other people who are like-minded. Make connections. That has been one of the biggest success factors for me, that you need to talk to people, because business is not happening between companies, it's still happening between people. Also, find a community. For example, if you have a Girls in ICT initiative, or like CEOs, women CEOs initiatives, then join those groups, share your experience, and also learn from others. And if you don't find a community, then found one. Also partner up to collaborate. For me, also one of the very good examples has been that as a woman, I need to partner up with men to collaborate because we're doing some of the very big digitalization projects in different parts of the world, but it's mostly still a men's game, as we have seen on the screen. So partner up with men who actually hear you and who are your equal partners and who appreciate you. Also know your rights and obligations. As women are quite a vulnerable group, then you need to study the law. And if you have a contract that's popping on your table in front of you, then you need to read it to understand it and also know your rights. Transparency and honesty, I already mentioned, are a key, and also women empowerment. Have ladies that are like-minded and that support you around you so that you can be better and stronger, and in this way you will succeed, because the women power has a very strong power, so to say. So, and just to wrap my story up, if you don't understand at the moment as a young girl what you're actually doing and why you're doing it, then at some point the puzzle pieces will come together and you will have the whole picture. Just whatever you do, try to be the best in it and you will succeed. That's it from my side. Thank you.
Makofi hayatoshi jamani. Thank you so much, Keda. I hope, how many of you have learned something? How many of you? Okay. So before I call Esther, I just, you really touched me. Your story actually really touched me. It's not where you are today. It's about where you're going tomorrow. That's the first important lesson I've learned. She started as a secretary, and here we are. She's a CEO. Haijalishi unaanzia wapi, weka malengo ya kule unakoenda. Upande huu kama kawaida. Sema haijalishi naanzia wapi. Upande huu haijalishi naanzia wapi. Kinachojalisha ni kule ninakoenda. Upande huu. Tanzania ya kidijitali inawezekana. So I'm calling Esther. You were here on the stage. Makofi kwa Esther huko namleta. We won't have a lot of sort of panel thing, but I would love to like this time I won't even ask a question. I'll ask maybe one question, and I want to take question from the crowd to share experience, because now we have Estonian Experience and we have Tanzanian Experience, and I love coffee, ladies, so I'm the big fan of coffee. If you blend, to make a right coffee, you need some right ingredients. So I hope today we are going to mix Europe context of business and Tanzanian context of business, and together we're going to make a small cafe latte. So I'll take a mic. Hello? Okay. So, okay. The camera guys always are content creators, and they are requesting you to move at the center for the perfect pictures. So you can, at the center. So I'm here to take 3 questions from the audience. Any 3 questions that you can ask. Esther, introduce herself area, and I don't want to rub all those for the interest of time. I want to connect with the audience. So I'm welcoming the first question. And actually this first question, I'll just pick randomly, because I'll pick someone that is not so old. I think I'll start with you. You can ask literally anything or say anything to the CEOs in front of you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Elias, for this opportunity. Honestly, Miss Keda, your story touched me. I was crying just a moment ago. I have some sort of confusion inside of me. I did, expecting to graduate from 4 years of computer engineering in 7th of December this year, and I still don't know, in computer engineering, and I still don't know where I'm going with my life. So, I don't have a question, maybe I need advice.
Thank you so much. That was really touching. And how many of you are graduates here? Graduates? Graduates, okay, I see some graduates. Ms. Keda, you have been asked for a simple advice. She's a graduate computer engineer, 4 years she has been at the university, and now she's just looking for a way out. She doesn't know where to go. She doesn't know what life looks like. She doesn't have, maybe, she haven't been yet exposed to the opportunity, the green pastures for her career to practice what she learned in the class. So what would you tell the young, beautiful lady back there for the advice?
Yes, does it work? Yes. I would like everyone in the room who's currently in school, raise your hand. Everyone who's still studying something.
Yeyote ambaye anasomea kitu anaweza kunyosha mkono.
I think we have more people.
Okay.
We have very few hands.
Kama unasoma unaweza kunyosha mkono. Wewe kama ni mwanafunzi unaweza kunyosha mkono.
Which ones of you know what you want to do in the future? I think we need you to stand up so that we can see you better.
Okay. Mnaweza mkasimama ili awaone vizuri, ili anapokuja kuwapa ushauri huu basi uweze kuwa na manufaa kwenu nyote. Unaweza kusimama wewe kama unasoma au umemaliza alafu uelewi. Sasa tutafanya zoezi la haraka haraka. Wangapi tayari mnajua mnataka kuwa wakina nani siku za usoni? Wangapi? Aha, basi okay. Ambao mnajua mnataka kuwa wakina nani?
I could see some boys
yes.
Raising their hands in the back corner, but mostly, as you can see, no one knows what they want to do in the future. Neither did I think. Esther, did you know who you want to become? Of course, I was, when I was a child, I was dreaming of becoming a salesperson in a cosmetic store because my mom was one. So we are actually making decisions according to our role models, but the role models during the time can change. So just my suggestion would be that you need to follow your heart in that sense that you need to do what's actually something that you like to do. Because if you are studying IT and you want to be a baker, let's say, instead of that, then you should choose that route, but also sometimes it's possible to do both. I also have a software engineer who's baking bagels every weekend, and he's doing software engineering during the week. So it's totally normal that we don't know what we want to do, but at least we need to be consistent. And the more you explore the world, the more you study, then you will finally find out.
Wow, kwa wale ambao hamjaelewa kizungu kilichozungumzwa nitatafsiria kwa maneno mepesi sana. Utapokuwa unasoma, umemaliza chuo na umestaki ujui unachotakiwa au huna sehemu ya kujishikisha muda huo. Kitu pekee ambacho unatakiwa kufanya ni kujaribu baadhi ya vitu ambavyo unaweza ukavifanya kwa muda huo ili kuweza kuongeza kipato chako. Kwa mfano, ana rafiki yake ambaye yeye amesoma engineering na nini, lakini muda wa ziada ambao alikuwa akisoma alikuwa anajishughulisha na kazi za bakery na nini, anajifunza ujuzi mwingi. Kwa hiyo jifunze kuwa na ujuzi mbalimbali ili ukusaidie huku unajiandaa au unakimbiza zile ndoto zako, na siku fursa inapotokea basi itakukuta tayari umekwisha kujiandaa. Mmepata kitu wadogo zangu? Basi nitamruhusu pia dada Esther hapa aweze kumpa dada ushauri pale. Welcome Esther.
I think we can also let you sit down now.
Mnaweza kukaa. Mnaweza kukaa.
Mimi naomba nishauri kwa Kiswahili ili watu wote tuelewe. Kitu cha kwanza ambacho unaweza kufanya, tafuta mentor. Tafuta mtu ambaye anapitia njia ambayo unataka kwenda, akuongoze. Naelewa confusion yako kwa sababu wanawake ni wachache sana kwenye hii industry. Kwa hiyo unakuwa hujui nani wa kwenda akupe mentorship. Kwa hiyo hatua ya kwanza, tafuta mentorship. Na kitu kingine mimi naweza nikashauri ambacho nilikuwa nakifanya mimi nilivyokuwa chuoni. Fikiria kazi ambayo ungependa kufanya. Nenda kwenye mtandao, search ile kazi na title. Let's say kama ni system administrator, IT officer, database administrator, whatever it is. Soma zile job description. Hakikisha unapata huo ujuzi hata kama ni kwa kujitolea. Ili hiyo ina add kwenye CV yako. Ukianza kuapply in real life ukimaliza masomo, unakuwa na ile experience tayari.
Wow, Miss Valda, I want to ask something. Mental health is the biggest problem now, and you are a leader, you are a CEO, and for many startups who are in the building, would love to know how to handle emotional intelligence, how to handle their emotions so that they don't interfere their decision making when they are doing their businesses. How do they handle? I can start with you, Miss.
It's a very difficult question because we have all had these problems. Emotions during some ages are a part of your life. You just need, during life and time, you just manage to deal with them somehow, and you get calmer yourself and so on. So I would say that working in an IT company full of men for more than 10 years has taught me a lot of patience that I didn't have before. Because also each individual, I would say that in general, a software developer is a different species of people, because they are all very different. And it's a difficult question to ask, but I would also say that I can't say that you need to keep your work-life balance or need to go to the nature, or it's impossible. What I was also saying before is that find like-minded communities. I know that as a teenager and as a, let's say, up to 20 years old, boys are very important in our life, and the emotions are coming up and down as roller coasters. But as we mature as women, then women become the more and more important part of our lives, actually. So find girls, women, maybe also some, I don't know, as we have the initiatives that we heard of today on the stage. Try to join those kind of communities, and you can get support by people who have been in the business already for a longer period of time, for example.
Okay, I hope mtakuwa mmemwelewa. So Esther, this is one question with part A and part B. Part one is, what are the skill set as a CEO of the company, of the startup, do you need to have as a woman? That's the first part A. But part B, I'm an engineer in computers, so at least if you speak cyber, I completely understand. So I just need, when you start to respond to this question, start with this part B, like educate. I would prefer if you speak in Swahili, tell them a little bit about what cybersecurity is, the space you are in, and then what are the skill sets that you need to run or to win, because you're completely understanding the nitty-gritty of the economics and the dynamics of our country. You know the policies, you know you know a lot of things. You have run into this market, so you clearly understand what are the skill set as a woman in leadership you should have. So I would prefer Swahili. So my beautiful young sisters and my big sisters there can grasp something at least today about cybersecurity, because I know a lot of young ladies, they were looking cyber. What is cyber? They think cyber is something like a robot, you know. So you can share a little bit. Welcome.
Thank you. Naomba niji-introduce kwa upya. Can I kindly reintroduce myself? So my name is Mrs. Esther Mengi. I'm a cybersecurity expert, meaning I'm a certified ethical hacker, certified information systems auditor, certified forensic investigator, certified network associate by Cisco. So those are my certifications. So apart...
Makofi jamani, hivyo ni vyeti. Makofi hayatoshi jamani, makofi zaidi. Tanzania ya kidijitali. So we have a few minutes, so I would love to go straight.
Just like a moja. So there's a reason why I'm introducing this. It becomes easier to go to the next part. So I'm also a board chair of African Child Projects. It's an NGO that's aiming at bridging the digital divide and taking internet access and digital devices to unconnected areas. And also I am in the committee, the advisory committee for a Rafik project. It's a World Bank project that aims to transform the IT into the ICT Center of Excellence. So I sit there as the vice chair of the advisory board. Apart from that, I'm a mother of 4 and a wife. So when you're speaking about mental issues, it's something that for someone having such your hands filled, it's something that happens, yeah, from time to time, and it's something that's real. Hata sisi hapa tulioko hapa, kila mtu ana maisha yake binafsi. Apart from just working, going to the office, una maisha ambayo labda wewe ni ndugu, wewe ni mwanajamii, mwimba kwaya, so many things. So all those things, if there's no balance, inakuwa shida kidogo. So I'd like to quote just a quote that I really love from Michelle Obama. She says, "You can have it all, but not all at the same time." Yeah? We can't do everything at the same time. In piecemeals. As a CEO, there are times I've taken a break from my work. It's not even a joke. And there are times where you are, before when we were starting the company, there are times where you're like, this thing is so hard, and you'd want to consider employment. But these are things that people don't talk about. It's not all roses, yeah? Sometimes it reaches end month and there are no salaries. So it is difficult, but it is rewarding at the same time.
While we are winding up, I asked the area, what are the skill set that a startup CEO needs to have, at least 2, that young ladies today will at least remember. Esther taught me these 2 skill sets, and they have elevated me to become who I've become today in their future, yes.
So 1, it's the sad truth, but the industry values certification. If you want to strive in the ICT industry, get certified in whichever area you're doing. It's unfortunate, but the industry values a certification more than a PhD or a master's degree, yeah? That's number 1. Number 2, upskill yourself. From time to time, train yourself on the new things, train yourselves in areas that you don't know, even the areas that you know, because technology changes always. So you need to learn. The minute you stop learning, that's the end. Your career will start declining. So, yeah.
Thank you so much. You can make some round of applause as we are winding up. Thank you so much for these wonderful stories and sessions that you have shared. You have a question? Okay, so if MC can allow me for one question from the audience, it seems like this person will burst if that question is not answered. So I need your consent.
Okay, 3 minutes.
Okay, 3 minutes. I promise I will keep 3 minutes. So, sir, okay.
Hi, my name is Karim, and I'm a cybersecurity expert also. So my question is to the both of you. Number 1 is, we generally understand, not only in tech, but in all other industry, that men are forever going to be competitive, aggressive, resilient, and focused on achieving their goals in whatever they are trying to do. So in such a competitive environment, what can the women do in order for them also to thrive? And also just a little bit of comment to try and assist her in the emotional question. So if whenever you're facing any emotion struggles, the best thing will be, number one, talk to people who have walked the walk. For women, we do understand they're by nature emotionally. So whenever they interact with a person who has walked the walk, it kind of helps them relieve them from the stress that they're going through. And also, it's very important to talk to psychologists, because most of us think that psychologists, are for people who are for special cases, but it also helps to talk to a psychologist in that light. So, my question to both of you. Thank you.
Okay, so for the interest of time, since she's not a cyber expert, you can respond. Hope you. Okay.
Can you say the question? What was the question? Sorry.
The questions. Actually, you can paraphrase your questions so she can actually understand.
Yeah.
No, so generally it's, we all understand that generally that men are forever going to be aggressive, resilient, competitive in achieving their goals. So in that note, what can the women do in order to thrive in such an environment?
I would like to say women are also competitive. Women are also, go-getters. Women are also resilient. So it's not a gender issue. Yeah, like when it comes to professionalism, let's put that gender roles aside. If I'm a professional, I shouldn't be because I'm a woman. Yes. It should be based on my skills. So we are equally as competent. Thank you.
I totally agree, and I would encourage all of the women, girls, ladies in the room to be brave, to compete with the men, because mostly we just stand aside, because we are, by nature, we are the ones who need to sit at home and take care of the babies. So just be brave, stand up, speak for yourself, and that will do already.
We all deserve a seat at the table.
Yes.
Not based on our gender, but based on our skills.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We are out of time. So huku nikiwa nawatoa wazungumzaji wangu, na mimi nimejifunza vitu cha muhimu, kuwa jasiri. Amemalizia kwa kusema hapo Miss kuwa jasiri, jiamini, lakini pia kuongeza ujuzi katika kile ambacho unakifanya. Na nikija kuongelea masuala ya kitonga AI, tutagundua kuwa AI haina hisia. Kwa hiyo even hakuna vitu vya mwanaume sijui mwanamke, everybody is equal. So thank you so much for amazing thoughts that you shared. I hope somebody has been built today. Na kama mmejengwa, nisikie tena Tanzania ya kidijitali. Tanzania ya kidijitali. Basi makofi, ladies and gentlemen, Esther and Miss Valba. Thank you.
Asante sana Elias. Naomba tumpigie Elias makofi yake peke yake. Thank you very much for the interesting discussion led by Elias Patrick. I see the panelists still consulting. I'm sure it was an interesting. Your phone? Yeah. Elias, you left your panels here. I told you to practice ladies first, not ladies first after men. Now you see the problem. Okay, well, now I have the honor to introduce our next moderator for the session, Funding Women-Led ICT Startups in Tanzania. The funding options